We are meeting today to conduct matters of business, guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for being our source of guidance today. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everybody to the meeting tonight. I'm disappointed again. I'm not in Florida tonight like I was last, but can't win them all. All right. I've called the meeting to order. Ms. Lipson, will you please take roll?
Mr. Bills.
Here.
Mr. Kennedy.
Here.
Mr. Ringo.
Here.
Ms. Stover.
Here.
Mr. Thompson.
Here.
Ms. Wadsworth. And then Mayor Jansen.
Here.
We have quorum.
All right, thank you. Everybody should have gotten a copy of the minutes from the June 18th meeting. Are there any changes or discussion? Otherwise, welcome a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. All right, up first we have an officer for promotion. We have Officer Dooley, who is here to be promoted. Matt, would you like to say anything, or you?
No, this is kind of a long time coming. Very proud for this promotion to take place. It's very well deserved. It's an honor to have Sergeant Dooley take a command position in the department to help lead us next level in the future.
So yes, does this mean that Onyx also gets a promotion?
Onyx, yes.
Sorry,
He's
right.
actually going to be the lieutenant.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I did it again, didn't I?
We're very proud of it.
Yes.
Well deserved.
Yes, absolutely. Are you ready?
I am, Mr.
We'll see. We'll see if I can get through this.
All right.
All right, repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
so long as I continue a citizen thereof,
so long as I continue their citizen,
and that I will faithfully execute,
and I will faithfully execute,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
the office of Police Sergeant according to law.
the office of Police Sergeant according to law,
And I do further solemnly swear
and I do further solemnly swear
that since the adoption of the present Constitution,
that since the adoption of the present Constitution,
I, being a citizen of this state,
I, being a citizen of the state,
have not fought a duel with deadly weapons
have not fought a duel with deadly weapons
within this state,
within the state,
nor out of it,
nor out of it,
nor have I sent or accepted a challenge
nor have I sent or accepted the challenge
to fight a duel with deadly weapons,
to fight a duel with deadly weapons,
nor have I acted as a second in a carrying challenge,
nor have I acted as a second in a carrying challenge,
nor aided or assisted any person thus offending.
nor aided or assisted any person thus offending.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I further solemnly swear
I further solemnly swear
that I am able to read and write the English language intelligibly,
that I am able to read and write the English language intelligibly,
that I am sober, moral, and sagacious,
that I am sober, moral, and sagacious,
that I am at least 21 years of age,
that I am at least 21 years of age,
that I have never been convicted of a felony,
that I have never been convicted of a felony,
that as a police sergeant for the city of Villa Hills,
that as a police sergeant for the city of Villa Hills,
I will not interfere in any election,
I will not interfere in an election.
and that I will endeavor to the best of my ability
I will endeavor to the best of my ability
to detect and prosecute all gamblers
to detect and prosecute all gamblers
and all others violating the law against gaming.
and all others violating the law against gambling.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We already signed. And then, I believe these are for you. They
Awesome.
happen to have your name on them, so
Thank you so much.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
You did.
Good job. They always get more interesting every single year. we do. Some of us are how do they keep adding on all this stuff?
I don't know, it's ridiculous. I
That was
just want,
your accreditation from last year.
About
And they found out-
gambling and all
they
this
found
stuff?
out-
and gaming,
Does anyone know what
Gaming.
sagacious means?
it means,
Yeah.
oh, we
Wise.
looked it up, yes, wise.
It means
Wise.
wise,
Okay,
like
but
someone is
what does
saying.
sagacious mean? Because
It's
I've never
wise.
heard that before.
It's wise.
We
It's
looked
what?
it up one time.
Being wise.
I was like, I need my thesaurus.
Just use a long word that we
I
can
know.
use two
Yeah.
short ones?
I just wonder if,
That was another part of the oath that was in the Constitution. They said that needs to be added from now on. And we all were like, so do we need to get resworn? They're like, no, it's fine. But yeah,
Huh.
it's been in there.
Sagacious.
You think they
It was
take,
literally like, I think like they were looking like, and that's the oath. Oops. Oh, there's more.
yeah, no, continued
they-
on next page,
Right.
oh, yeah.
you think they take out the part about duel?
Actually, I wanna see that.
You wanna see a duel? Well,
Well,
just don't
you
act as
can't
a,
be a
don't act as a
You
second,
can't be a
yeah.
second
yeah.
in it, or you can't serve.
So you have to kinda make sure you check and before you agree to do anything for anybody. You're like, no, sorry,
You
can't
couldn't
open
be
it.
I think you can
council
watch
person.
it, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, one or the other, Patrick.
All right, so that's exciting. We have the sergeant. We're gonna move on to reports. Are you ready, Chief Hall, or?
I am. They're getting pictures outside.
Okay.
No trouble. Evening, everybody. For June, we had, can you see that? Oh, it's right in front of me. Okay. 1,131 calls for service in comparison to the cities around us. Dispatch calls, it was 63% to Villa Hills, 37%, I'm sorry, all calls, 63% to Villa Hills, 37% to Crescent Springs. Then dispatch calls, this is all the self-initiated calls taken out. It was a 50-50 split with 2 calls, difference between 123 to 125. 120, the 2 more calls were in Crescent Springs. Had 12 crimes, 17 traffic collisions, 26 citations, 24 courtesies, 14 e-call or incident reports, 9 domestics, and we did not have any more crisis intervention for the month. The map that I again provide, I know I talked about that already. Left-hand side is our citations and criminal and juvenile pickups and warrants. The right side are where our e-courtesy notices are issued. And that's a smattering across all the way between the Villa Hills and Crescent Springs. Traffic collisions. Funny enough, the number 1 vote getter this past month was I-75 South. It was not Anderson. Now, granted, Buttermilk is our top, all the way across between Buttermilk and Grandview, Buttermilk and East Buttermilk Crossing. But we did have a smattering all across Galewood and Edenderry crossings at Riverview Farm. So it was really kind of sporadic throughout the entire 2 cities for this past month. And there's obviously the map that provides for where the criminal investigations report. There. A lot, again, from last month, Sergeant Lucas stays busy with revisiting cases, keeping court cases open for court purposes, reissuing subpoenas. He did close 1 case, a sexual misconduct case that had no disclosure, so that was able to be closed. Death investigations are still ongoing. One of the death investigations that we had, that was an overdose. There was a second dealer that was arrested in conjunction with that. So kudos to Agent Sergeant, whatever I want to call him, Sergeant Dooley and Sergeant Lucas for their assistance and work on that and furthering that investigation. Sergeant Lucas did conduct a employee background, and that has been completed. The employee is actually, his name is Landon Terry. He is a lateral transfer from Post 6 of Kentucky State Police, and he was officially sworn in on the 7th. He would have been here tonight to get his ceremonial swearing in. However, he is a member of the National Guard, and he is on his month, the month that he has to out of the year that he has to go do some training. So he apologizes obviously for not being here, but when you do see him, Officer Terry is our newest member of the Villa Hills Police Department. So see him, welcome, please. We focused on Chapter 27.1 and 27.2 for evidence collection and processing of our policy procedures for training. 9 hours in canine training. Officer Robbins attended defensive tactics instructor course, and Officer Cicanelli attended the Department of Criminal Justice Training Enhanced Handgun Performance course. Sergeant Dooley had 2 weeks of vacation this past month, so he did only have 1 deployment, one of those deployments back to Strike Force, credited with 3 arrests and 3 total charges and no bite apprehensions. As I said, he had 9 total hours of training. Primarily, he spent the past month in tracking, so a couple in narcotic searches, 4 in tracking, and then just battering the other ones as well. Overtime for the month was 46.5 hours. We had 6 of those in court, 13.5 in shift coverage, 3 hours for the vice president detail, and 24-hour total hours in Fire in the Hills. Fire in the Hills was a great success. Lots of people came out. Everyone was safe. Fireworks were awesome. The event went off without a hitch. So kudos to Civic Club for putting that on, and to our residents for maintaining decorum. So we appreciate that. But that is that's my month update. City Business.
I have a question.
Yeah.
It's actually a question for Sue, but she's not here, but I know you'll know the answer to this. So, on the back, she says, side-by-sides such as Spyders and Polaris are now legal to be driven on roads.
Only
What is this? I don't know what a Spider and a Polaris is.
kind of like a quad. I'm going to pull up a picture, and that's probably the easiest way that I can.
An ATV?
Yeah.
UTV.
It's a
yeah.
UTV.
What's a
Um,
It's the
UTV?
next level of an ATV, like.
So
Okay.
kind of like I'm just showing you a picture here. Kind of the
Okay.
those are
okay.
legal if the local government permits them. So kind of like I know our ordinance in Villa Hills, and we have an ordinance against golf carts. We don't have an ordinance against obviously UTVs. They are now legally permitted to be on the roadway if the local government allows them. They would have to fall. They would have to get a sheriff vehicle inspection. You have to have a licensed operator driver. You have to have a registration. Has to be insured. So it has to be treated basically like a motor vehicle. But it's only legal and permitted if the local governments permit them to be on the roadway.
So if we
So
don't
you would have
permit
to-
them, they're illegal.
If you don't take any action, they're still illegal to be on the roadway.
They are legal or illegal?
Illegal.
Oh, okay. All right.
Illegal to be on
Okay.
the roadway. They're just being allowed, they're allowing, the state legislators
Okay.
have allowed local governments to take on them to be allowed on the roadways. Not state roadways, but the local roadways, if the local governments, so obviously this government, body government would have to enact an ordinance to allow them to be on the roadway,
Okay.
if that helps answer that question.
Are they allowed on state routes?
No.
Okay, so like Amsterdam, they could not money.
Only the side of Amsterdam if this governing body allowed it.
Okay.
Decide, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The state portion of it, no, it's not allowed.
I just have a comment, and please, I know that you're frustrated with this as much as I am, but those electric scooters, I almost hit one coming in.
Oh, yeah, me too.
It came out of
I personally
nowhere.
got out with 3 of them the other day that ran stop signs, educated them, said obviously they were not 16 years of age, couldn't be on the roadway, so I ushered them onto the sidewalk. It's a continuing education process that we have. We are planning to do like an assembly at each of the schools coming here in the fall once the schools start back up. I'm gonna meet with each of the schools and see if they can permit me at least 30 minutes that we can do a school-wide assembly and go over just some general safety rules, laws, that these are not permitted on the roadway. If you're under 16 years of age, you are not allowed to ride these on the roadway whatsoever. And then if you are, there's other stipulations, and we'll go through the guidelines of that as well.
If they're under 16, they can ride the scooters on the sidewalk?
That is correct.
Okay, because it was a sidewalk where it killed, I almost,
Unfortunately, they are permitted to be allowed on the sidewalk.
Well, I went down south, Short Amsterdam at 3 o'clock, and 2 boys were coming up. And when I was going around the corner, they just scared me because they had no helmets
Yeah.
on, they're in the middle of the lane,
Yep.
and they were probably 50 feet apart. But it was still scary just
Sure.
seeing them
Absolutely.
going around a corner.
Our officers are trying to educate and get out with them as much as possible when we do see them and they're in violation of the laws or that we think that they're underage, obviously, and get them on the sidewalks if they give us any kind of an issue. The way that I've been instructing the officers are basically one time, we'll educate, the second time we'll call your parents and you're gonna come and get your child.
when they're on a sidewalk, is there a speed limit? No.
There's nothing in the law that states it.
The scary thing was Collins Road, because they love to come from either side of Amsterdam.
Right.
And they don't stop. They just try to weave traffic
Yeah.
and keep their speed up.
We're doing our very best, obviously. to-
It's not you
to
can do,
that.
but it's like-
But again, going back to it, I implore that our residents and parents that have bought these scooters for their children, they need to understand the law that surrounds this and what involves them, and that they need to educate their children and help us help keep them safe.
There's better behavior with kids on bikes than on these scooters.
I would agree with you on that, absolutely.
Yeah, when we
My
talk-
situation, I had 3 scooters and 1 bike, they all ran stop signs.
So,
When we talked about this, we talked about having a flyer.
Mhm.
Are we still gonna do that to go home with the kids? Because
Probably part of that assembly, we'll put something together, that way it
Yeah.
trickles down to the parents.
Yes.
I know that I wrote an article for the Crescent Springs newsletter that's gonna be going out, and I know we have a newsletter for Villa Hills that'll be coming out as well. That's also gonna be my topic of discussion that goes out as well.
Great, thank you.
Okay, so,
Can I,
go ahead.
when you do talk to kids, because I know they're allowed on the sidewalk, but they go really fast, particularly on areas that are downhill, and they don't make any noise.
yeah.
So all of a sudden, so if you could mention when you do your in-service, at least say behind you or something like that.
I can ask them, I can't. force them
I
to
know.
say it.
It's bad for walkers, is what you're saying, 'cause if you're
Absolutely.
I
walking,
get that.
if you're walking the same way they're going and they come up
Yeah,
behind
they
you,
come up
it's
behind
suddenly a
Again,
bush of wind.
This falls more, and my personal take on this falls more on parenting than it does on law enforcement.
I
However,
know.
we will help
I know.
facilitate that with
That's why I
parents
thought
and
at
with
least
kids.
if you could just
Sure.
mention that.
Yep.
So if there's a kid that's riding a bike under 16, can they ride it in the street?
Yes, they can, as long as they have to follow all of the traffic laws.
Okay, but the scooter, they have to be over 16.
That is, they have to be at least 16 years of age. correct?
And bikes cannot be ridden on sidewalks?
There's nothing in the provision in law that says, we don't have an ordinance, and there's nothing in law that says they can't be ridden on the sidewalk.
Okay, and sorry, one more question. Can there be an ordinance in place to keep electric scooters off of sidewalks?
You guys can certainly do that. It's gonna put more, that's just, if you place the ordinance, that's fine. It's just something else that is another thing that we will try to enforce.
Right. No, I was just curious, I'm not saying it's the way to go, but, I
But
mean,
you
it's
can
just
certainly-
got.
You can certainly enforce it, just like the golf cart.
Right.
You know, we have an ordinance against golf cart. You can say no electric scooters on the sidewalk.
Yeah, it's just gotten bad,
Yep.
really bad, and I
We're
don't
not, we're not
think-
the only city experiencing
I
it.
know.
And it is, and we as a collective body, as far as local law enforcement agencies, we were battling this. We don't have the answer yet, I will just tell you that.
Okay, yeah, I might bring it up at mayor's group, but I'm just not gonna be able to go this weekend. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that's the way to go, but,
It is
and I
not.
just don't think that, you know, I thought, well, maybe in the summer and stuff, the kids are gonna be out more, but I just don't think with the electric scooters, that's gonna change any time during the year.
I understand their convenience, I understand their, eco-friendly, reasoning behind the scooters. I will tell you this much, before I even knew, that the law was enacted, I bought my 13-year-old one, and now he knows that he can't, obviously, ride that on the street, because it violates the law, so he doesn't, so.
Thank you, sorry.
So, are the UTVs and ATVs legal or illegal in Villa Hills to ride on the street?
Illegal,
Illegal, okay,
as it stands right now.
okay.
Thank you. Are you giving Sue's report?
I am giving Ms. Wadsworth's safety committee report. Outside of the, are you ready for that? I'm sorry, Mayor.
Absolutely,
Okay,
yes.
cool.
Yeah.
Obviously I gave my report, a couple things. We already talked about the electric scooters, that's part of it. The discussion about the sightline issue for cars turning onto Amsterdam from Walmart was discussed. After review of it, and I believe, Director Yelton also went out and visited as well. There's really not a sightline visibility. What it is you have a stop sign, you have a stop bar, then you have a crosswalk, which has to be there legally where it's at. You still have between 8 to 10 feet after that stop sign to proceed forward a little bit to make sure that you're clear in the intersection. You don't have if you're coming out of Sanctuary, coming from the left does not appear to be the issue. It's obviously coming from the right-hand side, but it's not a vegetation issue, it's not a concrete issue. It's a natural landscape issue, to be quite honest with you, but it's where the stop sign and the stop bar is. You can't move the stop sign ahead of the crosswalk and stop bar ahead of the crosswalk. It's just not allowed by the manual for uniform traffic control devices. So where it is and where it stands right now, people just need to understand that, yeah, stop and stop sign, but you can proceed forward to make sure that your site is clear until time being on whether that decides to be a four-way stop or whether the state decides to do that. So that was discussed. There was an open discussion that I talked about, K9 Onyx training across several, all the Boone, Kitten, and Campbell counties. And the K9 group, Mr. Me Neighbor asked if there was an interest in any officer in the next K9. I explained that once I received notification that Onyx is no longer going to be, once he's going to retire, then we will start the process on a new K9 officer and start all of trying to obtain, grants and everything like that for the dog resident requested, crosswalks, basically hatching on the ground and signage, at the intersections, basically surrounding the Center Park area at each one of the intersections, saying it's kind of hard to find where people can cross and, and everything like that. So, I know that I've been with Director Yelton and price that out, but the safety committee did, approve, they recommend that the council approve the request for those, that crosswalk once we get an estimated cost on that.
I have a question about that.
Mhm.
So, has, the developers turned over the streets to the city? At one point, I thought that didn't happen until all the houses were,
I'm pretty certain those
Yeah.
streets have already been turned over.
Yeah, it was a certain percentage of the streets that's when they turned over.
okay, all right, thanks.
I did notice that, well, part of this crosswalk discussion came out of, I was at the, they had a sanctuary bike parade on July 5th. And that's when everybody kind of found out who I was and came up and asked me a lot of questions, which was fine. But they brought up the crosswalk issue, in which they had sent an email, and Chief Hall and Director Yelton are taking care of. The other thing was the stop signs, because they were covered by some of the vegetation there. I don't know, Buck, if your crew did it or what, but somebody did go through and cut back those trees where the stop signs are.
I don't believe it.
We did not.
Yeah, so I noticed that this week, so, which is good. So at least one thing's taken care of.
The last part is the next safety committee meeting is Tuesday, August 12th, 3:30, council cameras, all over.
Any other questions? All right, thank you. Public Works Committee, Mr. Thompson?
All right, thank you, Mayor. Public Works, we're still waiting on KYCC for the environmental, so not a lot of movement on College Street intersection. The unfortunate big news, and special thanks to Buck Hollister for taking care of this, was the water main break, Prospect Point. I know I got some pictures from Buck and the crew, very late night, as they were trying to contain that. So, in Prospect Point, when you turn into Prospect Point, there's two roads where they come together. The water main basically broke right there. So if you walk back into there, you can see it's quite a big area, quite a lot of damage. And it's kind of causing a bit of havoc, because what we were planning to do was, when we got the final cap for Valley Trails, we were going to do the repaving on Amsterdam, Short Amsterdam, and Salt Bin Lot. And also, when Prospect Point was going to be overlaid, we were going to do that all together, save a little bit of money. Well, obviously, Prospect Point has now been kind of thrown to a bit of a loop here. So, we do have an update. Let me pull this up. Craig sent an email that we got. Actually, our city engineer, they went back and looked through. So the actual measurement of the damage looks like to be 246 square yards. So a little over $30,000 to get that repaired. I don't know what water district. Have you talked to the water district about what they're doing? And
I'll get it on my.
okay, that's fine.
I'll follow
Yeah,
up with you.
okay. Yeah, so the water district's going to be, obviously fixing quite a bit of that, because that's their water main and broke and caused damage. But so we're still kind of sorting that out, but that's going to mess with our schedule a little bit, but we'll figure that out. Valley Trails Phase 1, now that we have good weather and not been raining all the time, it's moving along. Actually drove on it right before I came here. Nice and smooth. It's coming along really well. Again, we're gonna have some striping done on Buttermilk, Villa Marie, and Valley Trails. Obviously, when Valley Trails is done, but again, we gotta wait for all the final pavements to go in. Other thing is that we talked a lot about this area over here again, and how it's kind of dangerous for the public works crew to mow. So we're looking at, this is particularly along the bank here, as we get closer to the bridge, filling that in with some dirt, maybe kind of resculpting it a little bit, so it's not as dangerous to mow. Because after we had the public works meeting, we all walked over and actually looked at it, and there's some spots where it just suddenly goes, and when you're on a mower, that tips, and that's dangerous. So we're gonna look at kind of sculpting that a little bit, just adding some fill dirt, getting a little nicer slope, maybe even putting in like wildflowers or something like that, so it doesn't need to be mowed as often, but it looks nice, so. We don't want weeds. The big problem, as Buck keeps telling us, is those Bradford pears, trees that keep growing. Those things are a plague. So yeah, it's all been, we're about to do the pavement, but we'll check on the schedule about that. The sidewalk program, so we are gonna start sending out the next round of letters mid-August. The utility companies are slowly making their way around, Northern Kentucky. SD1 is going and fixing their issues. Alta Fiber has taken responsibility for some of them, they're gonna fix theirs. And we'll just kind of let them, they don't really tell us when they're gonna do that, they just kind of go out, do it, and then we just come back later, it's like, oh, it's fixed. So, we're just keeping an eye on that. Two things that are up tonight. One is the concrete contractor, Hindi. They've been our contractor for several years now. They were last year. They were the lone bidder for a concrete contract. This is what we do when we have to do any kind of pavement replacement, concrete pavement replacement, sidewalks. They're very familiar now with our sidewalk program, so this is who we contract to go out and repair those as well. Price is a little up about $1 a unit, which is fairly good. We're kind of nervous that it'll be a little higher, but so we're satisfied with that. And then, as a committee, we formally recommended a new engineering firm. It's Compass Infrastructure Group. That is up for vote as well tonight to accept their proposal. This is, as you know, so Prime, our current engineering group, when we put out for rebid, they chose not to bid. So we got 3 responses. One was not a full service engineering firm. The other was based out of West Virginia, wasn't really local. But then Compass is not a new firm. Their main office is in Ohio, but they actually expanded in Northern Kentucky. And our old city engineer, Mike Yeager, actually left Prime and went with them. And so we had some discussions 2 meetings ago. He followed up with some more information. We were pretty satisfied with the results. So as a committee, we recommend that Compass Infrastructure Group, our new engineering firm. So, any questions or anything else?
Thank you. Up next, Public Works Director, Mr. Yeldon.
Good evening. I'll just touch base right back onto Prospect Point. The square footage, once me and Prime AE and Rigger walked it, the measurements from the first original didn't match up. It was off like, it was quoted at 200 square feet. It came in like a 247. So the difference is like $5,100. That's for the base repairs. As of the water main break, that is a $47,000 repair.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry.
I've got the water department involved, I got Rigger involved, we're involved. I don't have an answer if they're gonna pay to have Rigger do it, while Rigger's in town, because Rigger's actually starting on it tomorrow on Prospect Point. So, but I'll have an answer and I'll drop you away a line throughout the publish. But it was good break, so, and a lot of damage, so 125 feet of roadway was okay.
Okay, so that price then, that's the spot, the base repair as part of the overlay project.
Correct.
Okay, I'm sorry, I have that confused.
So you don't know about timing, but you are certain they are going to pay for it?
No, that's the answer we're waiting on, if the water department's gonna pay Rigger to do the repair that we are requesting.
Okay. Isn't it their responsibility to fix the road back?
Yes.
Okay. So if they say no, we're going to push them, right?
Well, we're just gonna mill and overlay just up to that point until that agreement gets
Okay.
resolved.
All right.
On top of that, Valley Trails is 98% done. It's been paved. A bunch of restoration's been done. So really, I've walked it. I studied it down the downpour today. No water issues. Everything flows to the drains. Nobody's being flooded out. So it really comes down to a little bit of restoration and crack sealing. So I don't see no punch list for that project. The salt lot and the PW lot has been done. It's paved. That is complete. I got RM fencing lined up to come in and put the fence back up and the gates and et cetera for safety and for the impound lot. So all that's lined up. Other than that, Rigger is doing a great job, and he'll wrap up into base repairs on Amsterdam, Shore Amsterdam, along with the stripe. It's all a timing thing, so.
So they were able to come in and just get it all done?
Yes. But tomorrow they are starting on Prospect Point. You'll see equipment over there as we speak. We got mobile machines, backhoes. On top of that, everything's running good. I want to thank Prime AE for their good services, and they actually took us out to lunch and nice little outing. We learned a little bit more about them. They learned a bit more about us. Thanks to Craig, who's knowledgeable more than I am. On top of that, I want to thank my crew. They're good guys. They're excellent. And they saved us a lot of money. And the Garden Club, Wayne Slusher. Excellent. That's all I have.
Has the new, part-time, the seasonal worker started?
We are waiting for some more results to come back, but everything's looking good.
Okay, great. Any questions for Mr. Hilton? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. The Finance Committee, Mr. Bills?
No report. Didn't have a finance committee meeting due to the books being held open at year end, so no report this month.
All right, Admin Committee, Ms. Stover?
We did not meet because we didn't have any business to discuss.
That works. Recreation Committee, Mr. Kennedy?
I don't think I have anything other than what Scott has, any updates about the ball fields or?
So we're sort of in the middle right now. In July is one of our quiet months. So everything, fall ball, football is going to start soon. Second season for soccer will start soon, but right now fields are kind of quiet. Buck and the guys did a lot of work up at Villa to get fields leveled off and seed planted, so I appreciate that. There was an email that Patrick and I got from the Longhorns. Won't read the whole thing, but there's a key section in here that's kind of really critical to what we've been working on. Said we had 650 kids play this year, and I can already see us having 800 kids this coming year. I just want to reinforce the importance of an extra field, let you guys know that we are not exaggerating the need. What you and the crew have done so far is so appreciated, and I wanted you to know that the work they are doing is not unnoticed or unneeded. So best we can do to try to get that dirt in and get it leveled and get it seeded this year is, otherwise we're going to lose another whole year
We
of
just
ball.
had 40 tandem loads come in Monday morning.
Great, good deal, good. So hopefully we can get it seeded and then get it this fall, get it seeded, and hopefully it'll be enough that they can start using it in the spring. Even if it's not perfect, if it's enough they can get on the field, it would be great. Appreciate
Anything
all the work
happen
you do.
with the parking? I mean, I'm up there a lot. The parking is horrendous.
Yeah.
So is any of the dirt going to extend parking or anything?
No,
Not as of yet, no.
And we're not building the parking garage?
no. That was something the Longhorns asked for, but we turned
Oh,
it down.
gosh, if they got the money, go ahead.
No, they were hoping we did, but
Yeah, right.
we don't say yes to everything.
No, that's not gonna happen.
No, it's a problem. It's a problem for, as you see
Yes.
next door tonight.
Yes.
Civic club's having their own problem. The growth back here, I mean, unless we start tearing out some trees to expand the lot, there's not a whole lot left to do out there. I mean, we have pretty much put dirt in the parking lot, raised sections, put gravel over it. There's some other areas that could be cleaned up over time, but until we get the ball field done, we can't really
Do
add any more.
anything.
And then it's incremental, it's not substantial.
Might just have to hike.
For those who can, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Scott.
Any other questions? Sorry, was that the end of your report?
It is.
Oh.
All good.
All right, thank you. Fire Authority.
Fire Authority has not met this month. We're meeting on Monday at 6 p.m. at the firehouse. One thing I did want to report, I think I told you all either at the caucus or the last council meeting, that we were going to be sending a letter to Century requesting an extension of our warranty due to the issues we've had with the extended time period to complete the project and the issues that have come up over the first year of our warranty, which expires September 1st. I had a phone call with John Hodge, who is the CEO of Century, on Monday, and he has agreed to extend our warranty one additional year. So September 1st of 26 now, which I can't even quantify what that could potentially mean to us, depending, with an $8 million building and land, et cetera, you never know what's gonna pop up. So I think that was very gracious of him to be willing to extend his warranty contract with us. So other than that, meeting on Monday.
All right, thank you. City Attorney. You have anything for us to move?
Nothing to report.
City Clerk, Ms. Litson?
I have nothing.
City Administrator?
Thank you, Your Honor. Just real brief, I do want to just touch back on the Prospect Point main break. SD1 will repair it. I think the issue we're having right now
Timing?
is, can they repair it on our schedule to match the Prospect Point drive? And because the project's over $40,000, they have to bid. And it might be a contractor issue where they have a contractor in the backdrop ready to do that kind of work and it's not ours. And so that's kind of what we're trying to walk through.
So what is the outcome if they can't match our timing? And we do all this work that you're gonna do up there, then this area where the water blew up, is it gonna be in good enough shape for people to be driving on?
It should be from the
Comfortably?
standpoint of they'll have steel plates on it.
Yeah, you can
they'll
drive on it
eventually
now,
come-
if there's
They'll
plates
eventually
down.
come and do the
Yeah.
repair.
Alright.
And then we'll just have to talk to them about trying to make it match if they're not able to do it on our schedule
Yeah.
with our vendor on site, so. SD1 will get, Water District, I misspoke, Water District.
They usually do it, but like you said, it's all a timing issue when they want to do
Yeah,
it.
this just happened a couple of times. We were gonna have everything done by Riegler and now.
They seem to be breaking everywhere, so I'm sure we've got plenty of them to pick up.
So that's the first item I have. Second item is for any residents in the city, if you suddenly now have Bestway garbage cans, and Bestway is now picking up your garbage, please contact the city building. We have a couple streets where Rumpke came and picked up the cans by accident, and we called and we had them brought back. But not sure that we got everybody. So if you are a Villa Hills resident and you now have a Bestway can, please contact the city building so we can get to work on that for you. And I do have a request for a very brief executive session at the end of the meeting to discuss potential litigation surrounding foreclosures, and it will not take long. That is all I have, unless you have any questions.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
I just have a couple of things to report. The sanctuary had, like I mentioned before, their bike parade on July 5th. I was there. We had the fire trucks, EMS, and officers there so that the kids could see the trucks. And other than being hot, it was a really nice event for everybody. This past weekend, Villa Hills Civic Club had their car show. I don't know if anybody went to it, but it was very crowded. It was very nice. I mean, there's a lot of different cars there, which is nice to go to a car show and see something other than Mustangs. So, what?
Like Camaros.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah, that's it. And they had, I think it was like 50 different trophies for the cars. I think there was 150 cars there is what somebody said.
Wow.
So, yeah, so, I mean, they really did it up. They did a good job. And then, don't forget, this weekend, this Saturday from 8 to 11 is the Shred event, and it is at Crescent Springs Park for Villa Hills and Crescent Springs.
City building.
Sorry,
Yeah.
not Crescent Springs Park, Crescent Springs City Building. Sorry. So, yes, I know. I'll make a note myself. And that is all that I have. So let's move on to legislation.
All right, so we have the first reading and discussion of draft ordinance 2025H. This is an ordinance of the City of Villa Hills in Kenton County, Kentucky, amending section 50.15 of the City Code of Ordinances in order to adjust the assessment for garbage service in the city.
This is a contract required adjustment. We signed a 6-year contract with Rumpke 2 years ago, and so this is the first increase.
Motion to approve.
Oh, it's a first reading.
Oh, okay. Don't approve.
We'll just put a pin in it and you can.
Okay,
All right.
I'll be back.
We know how you're voting now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Go for it.
No surprises. All right, so next we have the discussion and approval of draft resolution 2025E. This is a resolution of the City of Villa Hills in Kenton County, Kentucky, accepting the bid of Hendy Construction Incorporated for the Villa Hills Concrete Maintenance Contract at the unit prices submitted and authorizing the mayor to sign a contract for the same.
This is our contract, our concrete maintenance agreement that we bid out every year, so Hendy's been ours a long time. So I'd recommend, I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you.
All right, so lastly, we have the discussion and approval of draft resolution 2025F. This is a resolution of the City of Villa Hills in Kenton County, Kentucky, accepting the proposal of Compass Infrastructure Group for engineering services and authorizing the mayor to sign a contract for the same.
And this is our new engineering firm that I talked about, so I'll make a motion to approve this as well.
Second?
Is there any quantification of what this firm's costing us in relation to the last firm?
Fairly similar, a little cheaper maybe. I think one of the things
Cheaper?
Maybe. One of the
like
things
that.
that they will do that we actually really liked is, normally with Prime, they charge us by the hour for everything.
Mhm.
They, Compass, they are open to, when we have a project, like street project, like Valley Trails, they will actually bid that out as a project, and so then that's what it costs. Doesn't matter what, if we find something, doesn't matter what happens, that's the cost for that project. So we won't run out of extra hours that
So
way.
when you say bid it out,
Like they'll give us a lump sum cost. Yeah, sorry, I shouldn't use the word bid.
but we really don't have much
Yeah.
choice. They're gonna give us a flat rate.
Yes, that's what I should have said. Yeah, they're gonna give us a flat rate saying, this is how much we're gonna charge to do this project, and that's the price. So we won't get extra, so. It's generally, their price is generally gonna be comparable, but we're hoping with that option, maybe we can, if nothing else, at least stop surprises. So, and the other thing that really is going to help, and this is something that we talked about with Mike when he came to interview, is one of the things we ran into with Prime, they like to send us bills about every 3, 4, 5 months. And so we would just get this surprise bill. Now it's all work that they've done for us, but
Get a $60,000
Yeah,
They
you
have
get
to
$60,000.
dissect it and figure out. if
yeah,
it's
you get a
all right.
$60,000 bill, and it's like, did we run up that much? Well, yeah, I guess we did. I mean, here's the projects. But one of the things that Mike says that he is very appreciative with this group is they are going to bill us every month.
Okay.
So we will actually get to see the costs as they come in regularly rather than just, surprise, here's a $70,000 bill. So.
But the project, the roadwork project, that can be attached to that particular project, that bill. It's not
Yes.
taken care of on a monthly
Yeah,
basis.
so that's one of the things that we wanna look at as a committee is what's gonna be the best thing for the city is just billing out an hourly or, we have a major project, let's go ahead and get a lump sum price, and then that way we know what it costs, no surprises.
Would they, if you do the lump sum, would that be required to be paid up front?
That's a good question. I don't know if they would pay us up, if we would just pay them that amount at project completion
Yeah,
or
or if
upfront,
we-
or if they would just bill it as they do it, and that would be essentially like a not to exceed contract.
Yeah, I mean, and you could always, it could be a case by case basis too.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, it's, we can do hourly on one project, we could do a lump sum on another, so it's gonna be just a price analysis of what we think is gonna be the best option.
Okay,
Yeah, it gives us a little flexibility.
that's good. Any other discussion? I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. All right, moving on. Do we have any old business to discuss? No? Any new business? Any general comments from council and staff? Any public comments? So we gotta go in executive session. So, we have a motion to go in executive session. Thanks, Craig.
I make a motion to go into executive session.
Oh, that is true, but we're kinda stuck until,
Somebody has to second it.
I'll second it.
Nobody
How about
wants
that?
to.
I'll second it.
all of those grudgingly in favor?
Aye. It's my first executive session. I
Very-
mean,
oh,
right,
oh,
Pat? I mean,
yeah.
we're excited, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
You can tell who the,
Sounds so exciting. Let's
I
go.
think this is gonna be a juicy one.
Oh.
2 decades
Karen,
of executive sessions.
what time you want me to come up on
Members of
Saturday?
the-